in India we have a creature which can fight lions very successfully and is also very useful to man. So can you guess what this animal is? Their milk was used to make a very special cheese. We know of this cheese in India because it is associated with pizza, and I'm talking about mozzarella cheese. The Arabs called Indians Jats. Zat. That's the standard word that you see in ancient time for Indians. Obviously, it came from the word chart.
Hello and welcome to another interesting edition of my conversations about history. Today we talk about an interesting story about cheese, mozzarella and India, and how India probably contributed to the creation of mozzarella cheese. So if you haven't subscribed as yet, don't forget to subscribe. The button is right below, and that will help you and make sure that you get all our notifications and all our stories whenever we release them. So here is an interesting story of cheese, mozzarella, India, Arabs, all rolled into one.
You know, in the 8th century, Muhammad bin Qasim conquered Sindh, right? And Sindh became part of the Arab Caliphate Empire, which stretched from there till Morocco and right till the borders of Turkey. At that time, Turkey was ruled by the Eastern Romans, or what we call the Byzantine Empire. Now, the Arabs were continuously fighting the Romans on the northern border of Syria, beyond Antioch, the southern border of Turkey. And this went on for many, many decades. So because it was and the boundary didn't move by very much. So it was a total war zone. And all the villagers obviously left because nobody can live, they're always in danger. And since that area, there were very few people in that area. So lions, which were endemic to that area, which were native to that area, the number of lions really increased a lot because there was no humans or anybody to keep them in check. And after a while, the Arabs managed to push their border further north, and this area came firmly within Arab control. Now, the king wanted people, the caliph, he wanted people to go and settle there and, grow crops and give him tax. Whenever he tried, nobody wanted to go there. Because of the lions, they were scared. Nobody wanted to go and settle there. So he was having a discussion with his various ministers and advisors, and he said, what do we do about it? So one of them, who had been to India and he was familiar with it, he said, in India we have a creature which can fight lions very successfully and is also very useful to man. It's not that he will be a worse danger to man after that. So can you guess what this animal is? We are talking about the water buffalo or the bhensa. So it is well known for its ability to fight predators like lions and tigers by goring them. Actually, recently I was reading something else about the Mughals, and they said that when the Mughals went hunting, quite often the royal entourage or whatever would have two lines of bhensas on either side who would act like a shield against tigers. So anyway, so what they decided is they took 4,000 bhensas, 4,000 water buffalo, and local people who knew how to look after them, Indians from there, and they sent them. And so the Arabs called Indians Jats. Zat. That's the standard word that you see in ancient time for Indians. Obviously, it came from the word chart. And so all of these Jats and the bhensas, they were walked from Sindh to Syria. And they were settled there. And these bhensas fought off the lions. And the interesting thing is that we still have those bhensas there. And I recently read an article about how these water buffalo native north of Antioch, you know, the Syrian civil war, how they're getting bombed and it's a problem and all of that. And then people, so these bhaisas were hardy, they gave good milk, high quality milk. And so as the Arabs conquered the Mediterranean islands one by one, you have a historical record that along with them they were taking the water buffaloes to Rhodes, to Cyprus, to all of these Indian water buffaloes were going along. And they were quite prized for their milk and all. And later the local king presented 500 water buffaloes to the king of northern Italy. So they were settled there, and their milk was used to make a very special cheese, which is still associated. We know of this cheese in India because it is associated with pizza, and I'm talking about mozzarella cheese. So in a way, this is the story of mozzarella cheese. Another interesting thing is that now most of these buffaloes of northern Italy are looked after by Indians, Sikhs who emigrated in the 19th century. So it's interesting that we have another lot of Jats who have gone there. And what happened to those Indians? What happened to the people who had gone with the buffaloes? So people had always suspected that the gypsies all over Europe were from India because of the language they spoke was quite close to North Indian languages. Like they'd use words like churi and kaan, and the counting is 1, 2, 3, 4 and all that. But now with genetic analysis, they have found that these gypsies have a particular mutation which is called the Indian marker. And my family has it, for example. My father has it because it's there on the Y chromosome. So these gypsies have it, and this mutation occurred in India 30,000 years ago. So this is clear signal that the gypsies are out of India. And there is a thing that the gypsies started out from Byzantium or Constantinople around 1200 years ago. So both the Arabs and the Romans would do slave raiding on either side. Especially the people in the border, very often they'd get caught and taken away to the capital or wherever in the kingdom labor was required. So the current hypothesis is that these Jats were captured by the Romans and they settled in ancient Byzantium or Rome, and then from there they spread into the rest of Europe and Russia.
Wow.
So this is how the gypsies got there, thanks to the fighting qualities of buffaloes, and how buffaloes spread all over the Mediterranean thanks to their rich and creamy milk.